Good evening, my good tenant. I just want to start this video by saying Protea / grenades are really underrated in my opinion for Star Chart and potentially Steel Path as well. And this can be a very good nuke alternative for all content in Warframe that requires nuking. I got inspiration from this build for one of my streams and I decided to try it out. This build can nuke ESO, defense missions, arbitration missions as well, although I have not tested this for long endurance runs, so I don't know how far they will go. Excavation missions, interception, anything where you need to defend a target. Pretty much what Protea can do as per normal, but you build her for her slash grenades and then build for the turrets as well. Before we get into the video, hit that like button. It really helps me and goes a long way, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the content too. So let's get into how this build works. We build for her one, which is Protea's slash grenades. Now, depending on your settings, you may have to hold or tap this ability. These grenades aren't necessarily used in normal Protea builds, as the majority of Protea builds go for her turrets. Well, I'm here to tell you that when you use her turrets plus her grenades together and then you subsume raw over her fourth so that your slash grenades do more slash proc damage, build for some range and you have an insanely good nuke build. So to demonstrate what I'm talking about, when you're on a mission, whether it's defense, interception or ESO, place your dispensary, throw down your slash grenades everywhere until you hit your passive, because remember, Protea's passive is every fourth ability has 100% increased strength. When you get to the fourth cast, make sure that it is raw so that obviously you get more raw damage. Before your multi-augmented stacks, you should be at around 96 or 97% depending on your stats. Here is a side-by-side comparison without raw damage and with raw damage. As you can see, raw does make a big difference, especially when stacking multiple grenades on top of the enemies. For Star Chart, your slash grenades should absolutely shred enemies and you won't need your turrets, but for the Xmas units or the tougher ones, you can just slap down a few turrets and you'll be good to go. You just need to run around the map spamming your slash grenades like crazy. Please change your energy color to a dark color, please. Otherwise, it's going to look something like this. And that's literally how to play this setup. It's super simple. Now, in the setup, we are building for high range, decent strength, and a bit of duration. The mods we go for are Breeze for Spite or Growing Power for the Aura, Blind Rage, Primed Continuity, Overextended, Stretch, Equilibrium so we can sustain our energy, Augur Reach, Streamline, Umbral Intensify, and then Power Drift. We also go Multi-Augmented and Multi-Efficiency. This is really good here so you can get your strength up for your slash grenades and raw, and then of course extra duration because you want your slash grenades down long enough, and also you want your turrets to be up as long as possible when you're going for long runs. Like I mentioned, you subsume over raw onto your fourth to increase the damage for your slash procs. You also use Protea's first ability for her shields for her survivability. Now, a quick disclaimer, I have put on Archon shards here, so your stats may vary. I put on an extra 20% strength to stack up more raw damage and her slash grenades as well. And then I put 3 cast speed shards because this is a great quality of life feature for this build. Although it is not needed, it will still function fine without it. It's just a lot nicer to throw down grenades a lot faster. We also make use of a primer here so that we can apply viral stacks to enemies that are a bit tougher, and if you are planning to use this setup for Steel Path, you are going to need a primer for the tougher Xmas units and so on. So we'll be using the Epitaph here. For the Epitaph build, we go Lethal Torrent, Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Sure Shot, Amalgam Barrel Diffusion, Augur Seeker, Anemic Agility, and Jolt. Now that we've gone over all the builds, let's talk about some of the cons with this build and also what the build can do. The biggest issue about this setup is the energy sustain, because we have to sacrifice somewhere as we are trying to balance out good strength, decent range, and decent duration. So unfortunately, we cannot put primed flow, but I put equilibrium in because obviously Protea has dispensary, so that sorts out the energy issue and energy sustain. The nice thing is her grenades are quite cheap in terms of energy as well, so you can spam and sustain that a lot better. If you want to, you can also put blue Archon shards and increase the energy. That is your choice, although I do think that extra strength or extra duration and cast speed is definitely the way for Archon shards. However, this build works insanely well in ESO because it's Protea's first ability, so you can consistently spam it over and over again, literally killing everything and not have to worry about Cephalon throwing a tantrum every 2 seconds. It's a great nuke for ESO and focus farming, a good alternative. It is good for defenses and anything where you need to hold an objective. For arbitrations, it's a bit tricky because the slash grenades don't break arbitration drones. However, you can just use your ogres to break the drones. It's important to do this because you want to kill the drones the fastest so that they can respawn and thus giving you more Vitus Essence. And if you're worried about ammo sustain, just remember Protea has a dispensary, so you are good in that department as well. With all this being said, I think that it is more efficient for everyone to run an Ogress with Nightwatch Napalm and just do arbitrations like that with all the buffs. I did make a video on arbitrations here, I will put it up in the cards on the top right, but this is a possible alternative using the setup for arbitrations. Also, if knockback is a pain, just run Inari with Poise. For Steel Path, meh, it's alright. It's doable, but for the tanky enemy, you're going to struggle, but however, you could just prime them and throw down your turrets and they will die very, very quickly. It's not as comfortable as doing Star Chop, but like I said, it is doable. So if you're wanting something slightly different, this is a good option to do so. Just please remember you will need a primer that applies viral. This gives your slash procs a huge bonus and shreds enemies. In terms of excavation, this build also works insanely well for that because you can throw your grenades everywhere and they literally die before they go anywhere near the excavators. It just works so well for certain missions. And that is literally the build guide. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a very similar build to how Protea would normally work. It's just that you're utilizing her grenades more, so you build more range. I haven't seen a lot of attention on this type of build, so I really wanted to make a video on it. I hope you guys are surprised by this because I didn't think about it. Everyone who just plays Protea just thinks, oh, her turrets are turrets. They didn't really think about her grenades. Well, at least I didn't, so maybe it's just me. Anyways, guys, let me know how you found the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I will see you all in the next one.